We have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and let me introduce you to Chapter 7 Bankruptcy Tuesday.
You know what's funny about those days, especially the last one? They all are not days. They're multi-day events now.
They're
They've
months.
lost all
Let's
meaning.
be honest. It
You know?
used to be you woke up at a really early hour on Friday morning. You
Right.
grabbed your best battle weapon. You stood in a line. You clubbed
Right.
the neighbors, and then you got the TV.
As
And
I told
now,
my son one time on Black Friday, elbows and knees, buddy, elbows and knees.
yeah. And now I ordered some stuff on Black Friday, Paul, but you know what? I didn't even get out of bed. I just scrolled on
Yeah.
my phone, tapped, ordered, and here we are. I
What did
ordered
you
some,
order?
some things, and I ordered my furnace to turn
Some
on because I
things?
forgot to turn that off. But
Very secretive.
so I ordered 2 Sonos beams.
Jeez, wow.
Yeah, they were on sale, $100 off.
That's still a lot of hundreds in there.
Yeah, so they weren't cheap, but these are things I've been wanting for a while.
Sure.
And there's, for those who aren't familiar, those are center channels that connect to your TV, because I'm going to be buying several new TVs here once I finish this god-awful basement. And so they're wonderful. I mean, they're
Wonderful.
yeah, they really improved the audio quality. I mean, no surprise there. I'm going from like probably quarter-size speakers firing down into my like mantle above my TV.
Yeah.
To actual forward projecting with a sub. So upstairs is what do they call it? 3.1 audio? 2.1?
Two.
Center channel
I
and
guess
sub,
it would be
whatever that is.
3.1. 3.1.
Something like that. And so, yeah, that's all I ordered for now.
That's all you ordered.
Well, Paul, at one point I had 3 TVs in my shopping cart basket, and
I'm surprised you didn't walk away with the TV.
Yeah, well, there's a couple challenges here. The primary one, me being that I don't feel like I should buy a TV until I'm ready to install the TV.
But you bought a soundbar
Yeah, but
before you
let's
even
not
bought
pick
a
at the
TV.
details.
Okay.
I want to finish. I want to get the real big reason here is I want to actually see what that size TV looks like on the wall before I buy it, because a 65-inch will fit, I know, but what if a 75-inch, Paul, does? What if it does? Would I?
Right. Would you hate yourself if you had like a wall colored bezel around the TV? Yeah, I can see that.
Well, the way this basement's going, my wife's going to have it completely redesigned by the time I get all the framing done, and then I'll have to just tear it all down and redo it. But I got. She made. Yeah.
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 Like
I
I
think
built
there's
this.
Sorry.
I spent like. My father-in-law came over and helped me quite a bit too, but I was building what's called a ladder system. It goes down below. So you have your I-beams on the ceiling. It comes down. I'm looking at it right now, and then it comes across and then goes back up. So it like encapsulates the whole HVAC run, so I can drywall. And I had it basically done. And my wife goes, it would look better if this thing just went the whole length of the basement. I've never hit a woman, Paul, but
I just rewatched that Bill Burr skit.
Yeah.
This past weekend, actually.
I was like, that would have been great, like 3 hours ago or 3 days ago. And so now I'm going to maybe finish that tonight. And there's a lot more framing. I was hoping to be all the way done with framing by the time end of the week, but that was naive.
I gotta send you this thing I bought, by the way. I see these. Like, how would I find this? I see these ads on. I'm sorry. Let me restart this. I see ads on Instagram that I actually think are interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a lot of them are for like luggage or bags or stuff like wallets, like leather items, blah blah blah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you could look this up, because I'll send this to you. But I saw this thing on Instagram and I was like, holy crap, we need this. And everyone who is like a carpenter or a plumber or whatever like needs this thing.
What is it?
It's called right. It's called a shape contour gauge duplicator. And what it is, yeah, I know it sounds. It's there are different sizes, but it's a piece of plastic, and then it has these. I guess there's strips of some rubber-like material. What you do is you move it up to, like, say you have like a pipe in the wall coming down.
Yeah.
And you have to put flooring around it, and it's really hard to cut the the circular part, or maybe it's a door frame, and if you've ever done like the mantle on a door frame, you know that there's like this weird little little design, and you have to kind of cut carefully and go look at it like down and cut carefully. So you push this thing into the shape, it molds to the shape.
Oh yeah, I've seen
down
it
on the it's unbelievable. Like so you should look this up. It's sombera.com is the name of the company. And I saw they did a little video where they push the thing against the pipe and it makes the the circular shape of the pipe.
Yeah, I'm watching the promotional video right now. Now all my ads are going to be this thing. Thank you.
No, but you know what? This is useful. I mean, someone like you, who's kind of a handyman type, as soon as you see it, I think you're like, yes, I have needed something like this. I'm
going to need
still have unfinished work downstairs that could use this.
On drywall, this could be helpful when cutting.
I thought it was kind of an interesting little non-traditional tech.
Yeah. It's a neat little
idea.
thing.
I think it comes from Denmark or Sweden, one of those type of places. So it's probably going to be here for next Christmas. But I thought it was cool. The other thing I think that would be kind of interesting is and you kind of started it, was like a lot of sites obviously right now focus on Black Friday and the sales and the deals.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. We did a couple of little things. We're not really a big source for that kind of thing, but I think it was kind of interesting, like the Black Friday sales that didn't occur. Like you were saying, you had like a couple of TVs or whatever in your shopping cart for a long time. Like I did that with so many different things over the long weekend. I was just like, what am I spending money on here? Like I literally consider, and like you could be compulsive about stuff. Like I switched to the Fire TV recently. It's just super cheap, like $25. But Roku was like half off, and I'm like, well, what if I need a Roku? Like you never know. Like I might need a Roku. And like this thing is normally like $100. $50 is still a really good price. I could have a hunk of plastic sitting on a shelf that I never use. I could just pay $50 for this privilege. Like this is like brain dead thinking.
Yeah.
But I think we all kind of do that sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's how I ended up with 2 beams. So.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, but you will use them. Like, in other words...
Well, yeah, they're already being used. The problem here is that...
I mean, you will use them. Like, the Roku, I might not ever use. That's the point. Like, I already have a thing that works. Like, it's a weird problem.
Yeah.
It's a brain problem.
Well, the bigger problem is so I bought 2. Obviously, one is going to come downstairs, and I put the other one upstairs. And then we have this other one. I'm like, I'll just throw it in the bedroom. And so I put it in there, and it sounds great in the bedroom.
Sure.
And now it's like, well, should I just leave it in there? And just,
oh boy,
you can't take it with you, Paul. When you die, you can't take the money with you.
Right, but you could be buried. You could be buried with a couple of Sonos beams, I guess.
They can actually prop up the gravestone so it doesn't blow over in the wind.
In Egypt, the guy would be buried with his animals or his, whatever valuable items he liked in the pyramid. Like ancient Ohio, guy will be digging in the grave, and it's like, oh, what are these plastic and metal things that this guy thought were so valuable? I mean, I'm sure the coffin has really good acoustics.
All I keep thinking about is he died doing what he loved, trying to get things to connect to the internet.
Exactly. Right. Should have went wired on that one.
Yeah. Speaking of wire, I got so much still to do down here. Like the problem with this podcast is, well, there's many problems, is that I'm literally looking like at the 2 biggest challenges I have left, which are, and anybody who's ever done this will appreciate the struggle I'm about to go through, is I have to put in a door, but the opening is too low because of the I-beam to buy a pre-hung door, which means I have to build my own door frame, which is going to be involving a lot of swearing.
So we just saw an example of this gone wrong, because if you think about the situation you're talking about, you buy a door, and you're like, oh, it's too tall. I have to trim it. People probably know this, some people, but doors, a lot of them are just basically hollow except for the top and the bottom.
Yeah,
so,
hollow core doors. Yep.
Yeah, the right way to do that, I think, would be to cut half at the top and half at the bottom. What these people did was they cut it all off the bottom.
Oh.
So you walk up to grab the door handle, and it's like down a foot. And you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is this? Just poorly done. Poorly done.
Yeah, so the proper way to do this is you buy... What they did was they bought a pre-hung door, and they was like, oh, we'll just cut the bottom off. And then, to your point, you're like, no, you got to do top and bottom, which is more of a pain in the butt than doing just the bottom. And at that point, there's no reason to buy a pre-hung door, because then you've already ruin the door. So what you do is you buy basically a door blank, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's got the same like moldings as the other doors, but there's no door handle. That way you can cut the bottom
put it wherever you want. Yes.
And then you find the appropriate height for the door handle, and then you got to cut the door handle hole and all that. But I'm probably going to have to buy a solid core door, which is slightly more expensive, because otherwise, if you buy a hollow core door, to your point, it will just warp.
Yeah, if you had this door was so badly done, I would imagine they might have cut all of the solid part off. For all I know, it was just solid at the bottom, or empty at the bottom. But yeah, you could be left with like an inch at the bottom, and then like whatever it is, 8 inches or something, or 12 inches at the top, and that would be structurally unsound, I guess.
Yep.
Especially the way I slam doors.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. And so then the other challenge is that door sits under an I-beam. Well, I don't know how familiar you are with this, Paul, but it's kind of hard to drill through an I-beam.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's really something I should be doing. So now what I've got to do is build a wall that sits under that I-beam, but there's like nothing to attach it to at the top, and I don't want to drill through my I-beam. So what I think I'm going to do is, if there's any carpenters out there, please let me know if this is wrong. I'm going to friction fit it, which means exactly what it sounds like. You build the wall and stand it up there so it's like really like wedged in there, and then back it out and load the top up with construction adhesive that will bond it to the I-beam and the wood. And then on the bottom, that's not a problem because I have a ram set and can just tack it into the concrete. And that should be enough. It's a non-load bearing wall. I mean, all it's got to do is just like exist,
right,
and hold drywall. So, yep. So there you go. You got anything else for this turkey hangover Monday?
Right. No, I'm. It's kind of weird to even be working normally again. So that will be a little frustrating this week. We're supposed to get an unbelievable winter storm today, but I woke up to, dude, they were talking like 9 to 12 inches at one point, and then it kind of went to, then it went to, well, by the way, it was like 0 inches, and then it was 9 to 12, and then it kind of went 5 to 8. Now they're like, 3 to 6, and I thought we were going to wake up to a winter wonderland today, and it was just, it almost looked like frost. It was just tiny amounts. I'm sure the driving is going to be fantastic. My 6-minute drive to the gym, I'm going to calculate it's going to be about 37 minutes based on the way people drive around here. But I don't know. That's about it. So you guys must have escaped this.
Yeah, we got rain yesterday, which conveniently I also put up. Man, I got to tell you, like, I don't think I'm in bad shape by any means. Like, I was going to the gym pretty regularly prior to starting this basement, but everything in my body hurts from like my waist up.
Well, of course. I mean, because you're moving in ways and holding in positions that are unusual.
I don't know if you're familiar with ceilings, Paul, but when you got to put framing up on a ceiling, like you got to hold the 2x4s up there, and then you got to drill it, and then you got to, because it's me, it's not just one drilling. Like, it's usually take it off, tweak it, make it a little better, cut it.
Dude, you're talking to someone who blew at his knee sitting in a chair. I go to the gym 5 or 6 days a week, and I'm horribly out of shape. Like, I completely understand that. By the way, the other thing that you just reminded me of, although you weren't really talking about this, was you mentioned like crazy wind someday last week.
Yeah.
When you did, I looked at my weather thing, and it was nothing. Like, there was no unusual weather. And the next morning, like, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law and father-in-law were here, and we were all woken up in the middle of the night by what I can only describe as Wizard of Oz level like wind. And I thought the entire neighborhood was going to come down. Like, it sounded, we had one of like a downspout blow off the side of the house, but other than that, it was fine. But it literally woke everyone up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep. Like, it must have been Thanksgiving. I guess it was Thanksgiving morning. So I feel like I would have mentioned this if I had talked to you, because it was crazy.
Yeah. I think ours was Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, which puts it about Thursday at your house. So
yeah. Anyway, you didn't get any of this weather.
No, we just got some. I mean, it rained yesterday, but not like a substantial amount of rain by any means.
Yeah, it rained here as well.
But that was nothing. I looked at it. We're a little cloudy.
If we still lived in Boston, we would be right on the 6 to 9, 12 to 15 line for snow, which is like, ugh, like I don't even like.
No, like that's
too soon. Too soon.
To me, the right amount of snow is just enough to cover the grass, but not on the street and not on the driveway.
Take a few pictures. Done.
Like 2 inches. That's a good snow. I'm happy with that.
Like the sun comes out, it goes away. It's nice.
Yeah, just like the vampires.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So that wraps it up for today. We'll catch all of you right back here tomorrow on First Ring Daily. My furnace stopped conveniently.